Kuya! Kuya! Kuya!
Ano ba?
Tatanong ako!
Kita mo ba yung ginagawa ko? Bailing to eh.
Di, mas, sumalagay yung tayo, Dre!
Bukas na to eh. Wait lang ako.
Mamaya,
Sige.
saglit lang! Itatanong lang ako!
Ano ba yun?
May nasusulat ko tungkol sa Vatican Council 2. Yung sa kasi parang kinulang ako eh.
Vatican Council 2?
Oo!
Ba yan? Basic lang yan eh.
Hindi
Ano
ba?
ba gusto mo dun? Oo. Parang Dota lang yan.
Basic.
Ano ba yung tatanong mo dun?
Pangatan dun. Kasi sa Pope. Oo, yun yung mga Pope. Tsaka yung mga bishops.
O sige. Kinig ka ah. Explain ko sa'yo yung dalawa.
Sige.
Wait lang ah. Yung dalawang Pope kasi, sila Pope John the 23rd, pati si Pope Paul the 6th. Sila yung pinaka-importanting event para sa Roman Catholic Church noong 20th century. Si Pope John 23rd kasi, siya yung nagpasimula ng Second Vatican Council. So, ano ba yung purpose nun? The purpose of church renewal and reform and the establishment of better relationships with other religions, denominations, both Christian and non-Christian. Pope John the 23rd was elected to papacy at the advanced age of 76 years old in the year 1958. 5 years later, he died. So, here are the highlights of his pontificate. In the year 1959, he announced his intention of convoking the 21st Ecumenical Council, the Vatican Council, to renew life of the Church, to reform its structures and constitutions, and to explore ways and means of promoting unity among Christians. Second, he established a commission in the year 1963 to work towards the revision of the Code of Canon Law and completed in 1982. Third, he canonized 10 saints, namely Saint Lars of Brindisi, who is a doctor of the Church, and the beatified Mother Elizabeth Ann Seta. Fourth, he established the Vatican Secretariat for promoting Christian unity. Fifth, he authorized the use of vernacular language in the administration of the sacraments and selected the liturgy as the first topic for major discussion by the Second Vatican Council. Lastly, he issued 8 encyclicals, most notably the Mater et Magistra on Christianity and social progress. The second most significant pope during the Vatican Council is Pope Paul VI. He was born in 1897 and was elected as papacy in 1963. And 15 years he played the role of a pope. Then, his highlights were he reconvened the Vatican Council II after the death of Pope John the 23rd. He formally promulgated the 16 documents. It produced and devoted the whole of his pontificate to the task of putting them into effect throughout the Church. Second and third, he canonized 84 saints and created 137 cardinals, more than any other previous pope, and gave the College of Cardinals a more international representation than it ever had before. Fourth, he established the Synod of Bishops in 1965. Fifth, he carried out the most extensive liturgical reform in history, a new order of the Mass in 1969, and revision and translation into vernacular language of all sacramental rites and other liturgical texts. Sixth, he authorized the restoration of the permanent diaconate in the Roman Rite. Seventh, he instituted the annual observance of a World Day of Peace on New Year's Day as a means of addressing a message of peace to all political leaders and people of all nations. 8. He became a pilgrim pope and visited Holy Land and India, United Nations and New York City, Portugal and Turkey, Colombia, Switzerland, etc. Also, while in Manila, he was stabbed by a Bolivian artist who attempted on his life. And lastly, he issued 7 encyclicals, most notably Popular Progression, with which he appealed to wealthy countries to take concrete action to promote human development and to remedy imbalances between richer and poorer nations. Vatican Council was convened for the first time on October 11, 1962. The 16 documents it produced constitutes a magnificent message of God to humanity through His Church, echoing the preaching of the prophets, the apostles, and the fathers and doctors of the East and West. The Council proclaimed to the whole world the faith of the entire Church. Among the more striking results of Vatican II Council are the following. There were major changes in the liturgy. The Mass began to be celebrated in the language of the people. Altars were turned around so that the celebrant faced the people, and lay people became more involved as ministers at Mass. And the people took a more active role in the Mass through parts written in it for them. There was a more active role within the church for the laity, particularly as a result of the creation of pastoral councils and parish councils. Third, there were a greater emphasis on the Bible in the life of Catholics at liturgical services, at home, and in schools. Fourth, there was more attention given to urban and social problems. Priests, religious, and lay apostles began to dedicate themselves to the spiritual and material problem areas to combat ignorance, poverty, and discrimination. Lastly, there was a new climate of ecumenism as the church tried to improve relations with other Christian churches as well as with non-Christian religions.
Ano? Naiintindihan mo ba?
Nanonood ka na lang eh.
Pero sige, maraming salamat
Sige, tulog na ako.
Sige, tulog ka na.